Week 1 of NFL action has concluded in the regular season. Half of us are certain that our teams are going to the Super Bowl. The other half are certain that we're going to have the first pick in the draft. I am looking today at each quarterback's performance from Week 1, and I am going to put them into one of these tiers. Now, this is totally just based on Week 1, how they performed, what they did. This is not based on last season or the season before or what I think next week's going to be like. This is solely based on Week 1 of the 2024 season. We're going by division, starting with the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. I am a Cowboy hater, but I thought Dak was good. I thought he was really good. The 4 tiers, by the way, are great, good, fine, and trash. Those are the 4 tiers that we are putting guys in. I thought Dak was good. I mean, you got to keep in mind he was going against the team that had the best defense in the NFL last year. People kind of expecting them to do the same. And Dak and CeeDee Lamb, I mean, it was a pretty lopsided game. Some of that had to do with the way Cleveland's offense looked. We'll talk about that when we get to their quarterback. But I thought Dak was good. I mean, I thought he did everything that he needed to do. And obviously having CeeDee Lamb helps, but I thought Dak was good against the Browns, helped him get a win. Jaden Daniels, in his debut as a rookie in the NFL, thought he was good as well. Jaden Daniels, I thought, had the debut that everybody expected Caleb Williams to have. Jaden Daniels did well throwing the ball, was accurate, maybe didn't do anything crazy through the air, but he also had 88 yards rushing. So he's already getting up into like those Lamar Jackson type rushing numbers. That's kind of the stuff you see Lamar do. So I don't know. I mean, if you're a Washington fan, I know you lost the game, but you got to feel good about how your rookie quarterback performed. He had the best rookie debut of anybody this year, for sure. He was much better than Caleb Williams and much better than Bo Nix, and Drake May didn't even play. Jalen Hurts with the Eagles. They had the game in Brazil. I mean, listen, Hurts got better as the game went on. Ultimately, I'm going to put him into good as well, because he started rough. I mean, he had the really bad interception. He had the turnovers. He kind of settled in. It felt like both quarterbacks were going in the opposite direction. Jordan Love started the game good and then tampered off toward the end, started struggling, obviously got hurt at the end. But Jalen Hurts started rough and then eased his way into the game. I know the field in Brazil was causing trouble as well. And then you've got Daniel Jones with the Giants. Welcome to the trash can. Daniel Jones was trash this week. We all saw it coming. We suspected he would struggle based on what we were hearing out of New York in training camp. And then sure enough, week 1 against the Vikings, he was just horrible. And there were fans burning his jersey in the parking lot after the game. Even some fans who stayed to boo him to his face as he walked to his car. And that's way too much. Don't do that. But Daniel Jones, the Giants paid him way too early. They were way too hasty in paying him. Aaron Rodgers with the Jets just last night on Monday Night Football was fine. I mean, he did better than last year because he made it through the game. I'm not making light of the injury. I'm saying last year he got hurt 3 plays in. This year he actually made it through. Had the touchdown over the top to what's his name that used to be a Green Bay. That was his best throw of the night. Had a lot of completions to Garrett Wilson. Most of those came on the touchdown drive they had in the first half. But overall, I mean, looked like a guy who was rusty, kind of working his way back in, and he was fine. I mean, nothing totally offensive from Aaron Rodgers last night, but he was just fine. Josh Allen is the first one I'm going to put into the great category. I thought Josh Allen really showed, especially with Burrow's performance, I think Allen kind of solidifying that he is the second best quarterback in the NFL behind you-know-who in Kansas City. I mean, it started rough. Arizona got out to a lead there at the beginning, but Josh Allen just, he can do some special things, and he showed that as they came back and won that game. I thought Josh Allen was great. Tua, I think, had the most passing yards of any quarterback in the league this week. He had 338 passing yards, which I think that is the most. And yes, that's good, but you also have to keep in mind he's got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, who get a lot of yards after catch. And, the Dolphins were down early, too, to the Jaguars. They come back and win that with a field goal as time expired. I I will. You know what? I'll put Tua in great for this week. For this week, I mean, he led the league, I think, in passing. Yes, he has two guys who are really fast, but it ain't his fault. He gets the ball to him and they make it happen. You can't blame him for that. So I'm going to put Tua into the great category for this week. This is just based on week 1. Jacoby Brissett. Hey, it's the shocker of the weekend. The Patriots beat the Bengals. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Jacoby Brissett, didn't do anything that just lit the world on fire, but they won. I'm put him in fine. He was fine. I mean, he didn't do anything. Like I said, he didn't do anything offensive. He won a boring, low-scoring game against a Bengals team that looked a lot worse than people thought they would. Jacoby Brissett's not a bad quarterback. I mean, he's kind of a lifelong backup, but, the Patriots need him to fill in while they get Drake May ready, and I thought he did an acceptable job. Geno Smith. Thought Geno was good. Geno was good, and I was a guy that I didn't expect much from the Seahawks this year. I know they were playing the Broncos, but Geno, he had the nice touchdown run, I believe, and you could do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse than Geno Smith. I thought Geno was good. Kyler Murray, I thought he was really good. I'm even thinking about putting him up in great because I thought he did really, really well. But I'll keep him at good. I mean, Kyler Murray, I think at times in this game against the Bills, even in defeat, I think he showed how explosive he can be. He reminded everybody how special of an athlete he is. The problem is, and this is on play calling as well, I'm sure, but you got to find a way to get Marvin Harrison more involved. He had one catch for 4 yards, and he was wide open for a game-winning touchdown late in that game, and Kyler couldn't find him. So I'll put Kyler in good. I think he reminded everybody, that he can be a problem, but ultimately they lose the game. He can't find a way to get Marvin Harrison involved, so he was good. Matt Stafford in the loss to Detroit on Sunday night, I thought Stafford was great. I thought Stafford had one of the best throws of the day late in that game, pretty much getting sacked and sidearms it to somebody. May have been a no-looker, I don't know, but I thought Stafford was just great for the Rams. Even in defeat, I know he had the interception. Some people said it looked like the Detroit Lions player was camouflaged with their uniform being blue into the end zone, which is blue. But I thought Stafford was great. And if he can stay healthy, I think he's going to have the Rams right in the thick of things. Even though Puka Nacua is hurt, he's going to miss some time. Cooper Kupp was great as well. Brock Purdy, let me tell you something. I'm sick of the back and forth on this guy. I thought Brock Purdy was great on Monday night against the Jets. You can say he's got the Avengers, he's got Ayuk and Debo and Kittle, and didn't have McCaffrey the other night, but normally he has McCaffrey. It's gift wrapped for him. Listen, all I know is there were times in that game where the 49ers needed him to make big throws, and he kept making them. Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel and George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey, they can't throw the ball to themselves. I thought Brock Purdy was great Monday night. And, it's all because of the other guys, whatever. All I know is he made big throw after big throw after big throw Monday night. Justin Herbert, I mean, listen, I'm going to put him into the fine category because it's not even a knock on him. It's just he didn't have to do much this week because J.K. Dobbins had 150 yards. I mean, their run game, I'm telling you, this Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers, they're going to run the ball and they're going to play sound defense. They're going to do it old school style. And so Justin Herbert was fine this week, but he didn't have to do very much because J.K. Dobbins was kind of carrying the weight. Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City. I know, roll your eyes all you want to. I thought he was great. I mean, listen, Patrick Mahomes, I think him and maybe Josh Allen, they are the guys, when you need a big play, they deliver. When you need them to respond, they will respond. And Mahomes, I thought Thursday night, yes, he had the one interception, which was weird, but overall, I mean, he benefits a lot from Andy Reid's brilliance, but he just, you've heard it all before. He does things that nobody else can do. So he was great. Gardner Minshew with the Raiders. Ugh. He had some turnovers. He did throw the ball a lot. He had about 250 yards passing, which was one of the higher numbers of the week. But in the grand scheme of things, just as the outlook for the Raiders based on week 1, I think I'm going to have to put Gardner Minshew in the trash. I just thought, one of those things as a Titans fan that worries me that Shane Steichen and the Indianapolis Colts were able to get as much out of this guy last season as they did. It worries me that Shane Steichen might be a good coach, because I just saw a guy with the Raiders who, eventually I could see them going back to Aiden O'Connell, just because, he had the one pass that he threw backwards, and it was just weird for Minshew. And I like Gardner Minshew. But, yeah. Bo Nix, speaking of trash. I know it was a rookie in his rookie debut on the road. I didn't expect him to be great. But I thought Bo Nix was trash. Just dinking and dunking. And I got the understanding that he's a rookie in Seattle. Your first start in the NFL on the road in Seattle, not ideal, with not the most talent around you. So I don't think there's any reason to just throw in the towel if you're Denver. And hey, it was close. They were hanging in there. But I think Bo Nix for this week, was trash. Speaking of rookies who were trash, Caleb Williams was trash. With the expectations he had especially. And he played my Titans and they won. They won, and the media is going to make it all about Caleb, but there was blocked punts, return for touchdown. There's one of the dumbest pick sixes I've ever seen, return for touchdown. Caleb Williams was missing dudes. Caleb Williams looked like a rookie, and all of that talent we heard about on their offense was not a big part of the game Sunday. So I thought Caleb Williams was trash, and I think the Titans' defense is good, and I'm not just being biased there. I think Titans' defense is good. That's a tough, Sweat and Simmons, that's a tough defensive front to have coming at you. I think the Titans have a good secondary. So that caused him trouble, and he was missing some guys too. He's a rookie as well, so we'll give him some understanding there. But for this week, he was trash. Sam Darnold. Hello. I thought Sam Darnold was great. I thought Sam Darnold was great for the Vikings. I know they were playing the Giants. And I think, most people think the Giants are not going to be very good. But I thought Sam Darnold was great. If he plays like that, they might find themselves in a little wild card race there. Like I said, they played the Giants. I'm not saying it was perfect, but, he was accurate. He threw a nice touchdown at one point in that game. Look out for Sam Darnold, baby. I thought he was great this week. Jared Goff. I'm going to say Goff was good. Goff, I think he had a really good first half. Second half started to level out for him a little bit. The Rams, Sean McVay, they've always got a good defense. I think that could have been a preview of the NFC title game, honestly, between the Rams and the Lions. Goff was good. They obviously won the game in overtime. David Montgomery is mainly the guy who toted them down the field in overtime. But Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown was not a big part of that game either, but Jameson Williams was. And so Goff was good. Jordan Love, obviously, he got hurt. I must say he was good as well, even though late in that game, I felt like he was missing some throws. Like I said, him and Jalen Hurts in that game, it felt like they were going opposite directions. Hurts got better as the game went on. Love felt like kind of got worse. Obviously, had the injury at the end. He's going to be out for a little while, but glad it's not anything worse. So Love was good. They're late in the game. They kind of needed him to be that guy that he was in the playoffs last year, and he was just missing on some throws. Joe Burrow. Like I said, the shocker of opening weekend was the Bengals losing to the Patriots, and Joe Burrow struggled. But the Bengals are known for struggling in week one. They always look bad in week one. I'm going to put Burrow into fine just because you had, one throw where a guy dropped the pass. I know there was one where he found a guy who was running into the end zone and he dropped the ball and fumbled it. So I think Burrow, we would be having a different conversation about him. Now, I will say, considering expectations, because I have said I think he's the second best quarterback in the league behind Mahomes when he's healthy. When you consider the expectations of him and this team, this was a very disappointing performance and a little concerning that he was as bad as he was. I'm going to put him into the fine category just because I think there were times that he could have gotten a little help from some of the other supporting cast there and didn't. But, I mean, he was verging on trash. Justin Fields was also fine. I mean, they won. He definitely didn't do anything spectacular, but, I mean, he hung in there against what I consider to probably be a good Falcons defense. I don't know if they're better off with him or Russell Wilson, but he didn't do anything to lose him the game. That's the key. He didn't do anything to lose the game for him. He was fine. Lamar was good. Lamar was good. He had a chance to be great at the end. I mean, I think, on that last possession, he missed likely in the corner on the first down, and then he missed Zay Flowers standing alone in the middle of the end zone, and then obviously the toe out of bounds for likely on the last play of the game. But Lamar, through the air, was missing guys throughout this game. He was throwing some inaccurate passes. He did have over 100 yards rushing, so, I mean, you have to account for that. But through the air, he struggled a little bit throughout this game, but it was a good performance by him. But he's just not Mahomes. He's not Mahomes. Deshaun Watson was trash. And what a situation the Cleveland Browns are in because they paid this dude an unbelievable amount of money, and the happiest teams in the world are the Falcons and the Saints because they almost did the same thing, and they're probably thrilled that they didn't. But the Browns, if he can't do any better than he did on Sunday, and now there's more legal trouble coming his way, he's getting sued again. Bad situation all around, and he was horrible Sunday. Speaking of trash, I hate to say it, but Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers as a whole were trash. Bryce Young was trash, and I hate it because I like Bryce. He's a good dude. I think he's a talented dude, but they were a nightmare. They were a nightmare Sunday, and he was kind of the nightmare too. So, I mean, Bryce Young, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if there is an answer, but they better figure it out soon because he was trash. Kirk Cousins, when you consider how much he got paid, I thought he was trash too. Kirk Cousins, I mean, you got paid $180 million to come in here. And, I mean, there were some throws he was making. I saw one on Twitter from the back angle where you can see the layout of the field. It's like, I don't even know what the heck you're doing. He looks like he can't move. He doesn't look fully recovered from the injury, the Achilles. So he's can't move at all. And I said it the other day, kind of reminded me of when Matt Ryan went to the Colts. It just looks like rut-row. Here's a surprise for me this week. A couple of surprises. Derek Carr, I thought was great. Now, I know he was playing Carolina, so we'll see. There's going to be people who are still iffy on the Saints just because, okay, you beat up the Panthers. But Derek Carr was great. I mean, Derek Carr was very efficient, had a few touchdowns, and maybe Saints fans are feeling a little bit better about Derek Carr after this performance because a lot of Saints fans were already calling for Spencer Rattler to take the job. But after this, I think people might be lightening up a little bit to Derek Carr. We'll see if it continues, but he was great on Sunday. And remember, this is just based on week 1. Tell you who else was great. I might not have given the Bucs enough credit. I thought the Bucs were going to take a significant step back this year from last year, but if Sunday's any indication, first of all, Mike Evans is still just a freak. If he can stay healthy, Mike Evans, still to this day, I don't think we give the guy enough credit for what a beast he is. He's unbelievable. And Baker Mayfield, I thought Baker Mayfield was just great Sunday. He was great for the Bucs. I don't know what the heck was going on in Cleveland and why they couldn't make it work with this guy, but to see now him in Tampa Bay doing what he's doing, and the Browns are stuck with Deshaun Watson, who looked horrible. Whew. What a turn of events that is. I like Baker. Good for Baker. And maybe I shouldn't have doubted Tampa Bay, because Atlanta didn't look good. Tampa Bay and New Orleans looked great. Maybe that NFC South is not as clear-cut as we thought. Now we got the AFC South with Anthony, by God, Richardson. Now, you know, hopes and dreams. Let me just tell you right now, I'll be the first one to come back and tell you, a 70-whatever yard bomb he threw off his back foot. What a cannon for an arm. Okay, that was a phenomenal throw. Throw of the weekend. All right. I will just say this, though. Let's not act like there wasn't some other throws he missed. Let's not act like there wasn't some other deep balls he totally missed on. Okay, let's not act like that it was just a perfect spot, because everybody keeps sharing that long ball on Twitter, and I get it. That was a beautiful, beautiful pass. He also, I think, had a rushing touchdown as well. But also, he missed. He was 9 of 19. Had more incompletions than completions. So let's not act like it was just ESPN and all them are sharing it like the future of the NFL is Anthony Richardson. I was like, listen, if you're just going to base it on that one throw, yes. I mean, he is the future. But there was more to that game than just that throw. And, oh, yeah, they lost. Richardson was good. Just off of that one throw alone, Richardson was good. That throw, they were right there. They lost by 2. I think their secondary's a little tough, not good, but this isn't a secondary tier list. It's just quarterback. He was good. If you took away that long ball, I don't know what he was, but he was good with that long ball. CJ Stroud, my goodness, I hate to say it, he was great. Houston's got a guy, and I've talked a lot about the possibility of Houston having a sophomore slump. It sure didn't happen Sunday. He looked great. They looked great. And it's sunshine and rainbows in Houston right now. Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence had a really nice touchdown as well to Brian Thomas. Really nice, especially if you look at it from the back angle. Like I said, if Richardson had the best throw of the day, Trevor may have had the second best with that one. Stafford had a good one too that night, but they lost too. Trevor was good. I'm going to be unbiased. I thought Trevor was good. At the end of the day, the situation in that game, I would say the Dolphins had Tyreek Hill and the Jaguars did not. Last but not least, it's the home team's guy, Will Levis. And I hoped I wouldn't have to do this, but he was trash. He was absolute trash Sunday. And he's going to have to be better. Because I think the Titans have a good roster. I think their defense was great. I think Calvin Ridley played great. Got open a lot. But somebody couldn't get him the ball. Overthrows, underthrows. Tony Pollard looked good. The offensive line was rough. I'll give him that. Offensive line was rough. But the pick six at the end, whether you're a Titans fan or not, you've seen that play. It was bad. Like one of the dumbest pick sixes you'll ever see. I don't know what he was thinking. So we're going to find out a lot about him pretty quick. Because how are you going to recover from that? Because if you are who you say you are, if you are who we hope you are, you will come back more motivated after that humiliation. So there you go. Josh Allen, Tua, Stafford, Purdy, Mahomes, Darnold, Carr, Mayfield, and Stroud are in the great category. Prescott, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence in the good category. Aaron Rodgers, Jacoby Brissett, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, and Justin Fields in the fine category. And in the trash, we have Daniel Jones, Gardner Minshew, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins, and William Levis. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you disagree with. That is the tier list for week 1 quarterbacks. God bless you. Bye, everybody.